Hello, folks. Welcome to Raj Astrology. Today, we're going to discuss the Saturn transit for Aries. So, if you have your natal chart, or if you have Moon in Aries, so then this presentation is for you. We're going to discuss the effects of the Saturn transit for you. So for Aries, you already had a very wonderful Jupiter transit, and that was in November 2019 when Jupiter entered into your ninth house. So your ninth house is your house of luck and your house of foreign travel, the house of your father, the house of spiritual experiences, and the Jupiter is very auspicious in the ninth house. You might have seen your luck enhanced, or you might have at least experienced very good activities from November till now. And Jupiter being in his own house in Sagittarius, the effects would have been much more pronounced and better. So now on January 24, 2020, there is another major transit happening, and that is Saturn is going to slowly move towards Capricorn. So you would have your Jupiter in your ninth house, and the Saturn is moving to your 10th house. So the 10th house transit is not a very auspicious transit because generally Saturn does not give very good results when it is in the 10th house. If you look at this house, so for example, say I just move Saturn on, so now this house is pretty bright. So the moment Saturn enters into it, you see that it has become a little dark or it has become a little dim. So Saturn is associated with darkness and being a mysterious planet. So what generally if Saturn is entering into a house, it affects the activities of the 10th house. So your 10th house is a house of your profession. It's a very important house in astrology, and when you have Saturn entering into it, you will see a lot of changes. You might already feel the experiences in the beginning of January, and the effects will be more pronounced as time goes on. But the moment it enters into your 10th house, you might notice some very visible changes. The first effect which you might notice is delays. So, say for example, if you have a promotion due and you might notice that there is a sudden delay or the promotion might have been put off for some time. So that is because Saturn is a slow planet and it generally tends to slow all the things in the house which it is transiting. So in this case, it's your 10th house. It will delay all the matters of the 10th house. But the planet as such, Saturn doesn't deny, it only delays. So maybe you might have your promotion, you might have to wait for that wonderful promotion just for a few more months till you get it finally ready, and for you to have the fruits of it. So that's one of the effects. It delays, but it never denies. Another thing which you might notice that you might be suddenly interested a lot more tasks. You might become you would be given more responsible tasks to perform, and you will slowly find the time ticking and your work pressure increasing at the same time. You might have to put extra long hours in order to achieve your deadlines. You might have to work out on weekends. You might be very frustrated because you might have to do the same things again and again all over again. So you might find that the tasks are kind of repeating again and again, and you might sometimes fail again and again on those same task, and you might be going out in a loop. So that's when you have it in your mind that there is something causing this. So you might have to be very careful in executing a task and making sure that the task is done correctly. So these are some of the main effects when Saturn moves into a 10th house. Well, on the positive side, of course, Saturn will make you more responsible in the 10th house, so your responsibilities increase. So as a result, you might feel very valued. So that's yet another effect of Saturn in the 10th house. And also, Saturn is a very hard taskmaster, so you can be very sure that you would be completing the task assigned to you, even though it's going to take a long time and it's going to take a lot of effort as well. But you can be very sure that you would completely fulfill the task. So these are some of the positive effects when Saturn moves into our 10th house. And in this case, also there is another transit which is happening in the months from April to June. So during April to June, Jupiter moves to your 10th house along with Saturn. So again, Jupiter in the 10th house is not at all good for your professional sphere, especially it gives very bad results. So in case you're trying for a job change between April to June, I would suggest you put a stop to any changes or of a job change during these particular 3 months. So that's one thing you have to keep in mind. Again, after July, Jupiter comes back to your ninth house, and then probably you can again go ahead and, in case you're looking for a job change, you can do it at that particular point of time. And overall, since Jupiter is in your ninth house till November, so you definitely have a backup for you in case Saturn is very worse or it's not working out like you expected. You always have a backup of Jupiter's, which is going to help you out. And these results are basically based just on your transit. So for the overall effects to take place, there is also another reason is the position of Saturn in your natal chart. So generally, if the position is good in your natal chart, you won't have much of bad effects. But if it is in a bad position in your natal horoscope, you might see the effects a little more amplified, a little more pronounced. So all in all, so these are some of the effects which you might face when Saturn is transiting into your 10th house. And since if you've gone through this video, you know what's coming and you can be well prepared for that. So that's all for today, folks. Thank you so much for watching this channel. Thanks a lot. Cheers.